Time for Rapid Fire. Here with their takes are Seema Modi, Dom Chu, and Diana Olick. Welcome to all of you. First topic, Apple shares all-time highs once again today on a Bloomberg report that it is developing a series of subscription bundles, including video, news, and fitness, with virtual classes that could compete with Peloton and Nike. They're expected to launch as early as October, alongside the next line of iPhones. Peloton shares dropped on that report initially, but they're up more than 1% now. Diana, you double as our fitness maven and real estate expert. What can you tell us about this story of Apple getting into fitness apps, I suppose?
Well, I'm not surprised, Tyler, that the shares are back up again today, because full disclosure, first of all, I am a Peloton early adopter on the bike and recently got the treadmill. But by the same token, I've also been looking and subscribing at buying DVDs to Beachbody for over a decade, and I still use them both. So when you look about Apple getting into this space, it's a very crowded space. When the pandemic hit, every single major fitness brand went online streaming. I'm talking SoulCycle, Barry's Bootcamp, Solid Core, Core Power Yoga, and still Peloton digital users up 64% in the last quarter annually, and Beachbody subscribers up 200% in May. Now, they went from 11 million streams in January to 20 million streams in May. So there are a lot of people using all of these different streaming apps. Apple gets in there. Of course, Apple's a huge name, and they're going to have subscribers. But I don't think it hurts Peloton.
Is Apple going to come out with a device like the Peloton bike, or is it really just an app? For example, I use my Peloton app to do yoga that is streamed to me on my Apple iPad.
Exactly. Now, they don't have equipment. Are they going to come up with some kind of equipment someday? I don't know. But Peloton has the bike. It has the tread. Those are very big selling points. They're also talking about potentially, there's some rumors that they'll come out with another piece of equipment. That brings people to Peloton. But again, I also use the yoga and the floor stuff off the Peloton app, but I also use it from other streaming apps, like
Dom,
Gaia, again, like Beachbody.
All right, so here's the interesting part. When I first saw the headlines of this story, the immediate reaction, guys, is to say to myself, oh, my goodness gracious, there's a huge, massive balance sheet competitor going against Peloton and Lululemon because they just bought the Mirror product, right? But then I thought to myself, the next layer of that onion to peel back is, what if this somehow increases the TAM, the total addressable market for fitness overall? We keep thinking of it as, oh my gosh, Peloton's going to lose to Apple because that one user is going to be there. But I'm saying to myself, if Apple hypothetically gets into this space, into this industry, what does that do? Maybe it opens up fitness to people who weren't actually Peloton users before, and if it grows the overall pie, that could be big for everybody.
Let me give Seema a quick comment on this. I just tried to change my screen name on Peloton to Gin and Pelotonic, but I found that it has been taken.
Very clever, Tyler. I think it's a logical next step for Apple. It brings me back to that iconic interview with Jim Cramer and CEO Tim Cook, where he said, that one of the largest contributions he hopes Apple will make to the world is in healthcare. And we're seeing that play out in some of its devices, like the watch, with the health features that you have on that device. Will they move into the hardware component and actually come out with a fitness device? I think that's the burning question, to your point.
All right, how about if you're not too tired after being on the Peloton, about doing some home improvement work, folks? Those stocks have been hammering away at gains, thanks in part to a remodeling boom and pandemic. In my town, the signs for redos are all over the place. Sherwin-Williams, Home Depot, Lowe's, 52-week highs yesterday. Huge gains in the past 3 months, all up more than 20%. Can rising home sales, Diana, keep this trend going?
Absolutely, and it's not just rising home sales, it's people staying put and seeing what they need to fix, and also building, backyard things and outdoor spaces. We saw some numbers from House last week that showed a 58% annual jump in demand for home improvement professionals. No surprise there. And it was pools, it was, back decks, it was screened-in porches, and it was kitchens, of course, because we spend so much time in the kitchen. There are some red flags, though, on this, though. Refis are getting more difficult to get, and interest rates are rising, and that could put a damper on home remodeling as we get into the fall and winter.
I have a person who's about to join our extended family who works in the swimming pool business, Dom. He says you can't get a pool installed until next year.
There are so many. So I've had this problem as well, not because I'm trying to build a pool, but just for general contracting work. There's a couple guys that I like to use reliable around our house, and those guys are booked solid for weeks, if not months now. So even if you want to get some work done around the house, unless you're handy enough to do it, the people who are really benefiting from this are people like electricians and plumbers and other contractors. I could try to paint my own house. I've done some work before in the past, but I'd rather pay somebody to do it really professionally and have it well done. It's going to take me a few weeks to get somebody in the house because they're just all booked solid.
Yeah. The contractors, the electricians, the plumbers, they're the guys with the really nice beach houses down on Long Beach Island, let me tell you.